up? Didn't see you over there, fam? How you doing? Okay, welcome back to the Johnny M Show. This is where it's at. Okay, let's go on inside, because guess what? I'm out here. It's a glorious day, you know. Gotta lift up, praise the Lord, all right? And you gotta go ahead and wear, look at this. Look at all my Catholic swag I got on. I wonder if everyone else in there is the same. Come on, let's check it on out. Yo, yo, what up, fam? Oh my gosh, okay, yo. Why are you working? It's a wonderful day. This girl, she going ahead. She's like, oh, here I am studying. Leave me alone. There's got to be a point to all this. Come on, leave me alone. But I'm like, hey, we got to work for the Lord. Look at this woman out there. She going ahead. She taking her time on her own. I don't even know what she's doing. Oh, come on, people. We got to praise for the Lord. You're not even wearing any Catholic swag. Come on. And then there's this girl on over here. She in her bed. She in her bed. Get out of bed, woman. Come on. It's a new day. Whatever. You know what? I'm sorry, but this is what you gotta do to be the best Catholic possible. You gotta have on your Catholic swag. Gotta have on that rosary. Okay. Put it on. Yeah. All right. So you gotta put it on. Not much more you can do, but put it on, all right, and get yourself a good old t-shirt. Why? Because that shows. That's like, boom, it's my brand, son. Catholic brand, here we go. Johnny M, out.
You are seated at the right hand of the Father. Have mercy on us. For you alone are the Holy One. You alone are the Lord. You alone are the Most High. Jesus Christ. With the Holy Spirit, in the glory of God the Father. Amen. Let's pray. Oh God, who on
Guys, we need to talk. There were two rats living on a farm, and one day they were both climbing on scaffolding and it broke, and they fell into a big container of cream. They both tried to scurry and get out. One of them realizing there's just no way of climbing out and gave up and just accepted its fate. But the other rat kept trying, kept swimming up, kept swimming down, kept swimming left, kept swimming right, swimming around, trying to find its way out, going through the cream, back and forth, back and forth. Eventually, the cream turned into butter, and the rat was able to climb its way out. Those rats were in this place of struggle. You're in a place of struggle too. Right now, we're not at youth group. Right now, we're quarantined. In the past couple of weeks, we've been gathering here and we've been talking about ways to find healing, which is beautiful and it's comforting and it's nice. But our faith isn't always necessarily comforting and nice. In this time of where school requirements have become less, they've become different. You don't have to go anywhere. Church requirements have changed. Are you required to go to church? Not necessarily. But do you go to church because you're required? That doesn't sound like relationship to me. That sounds like work. So I'm here to talk to you and ask you, where are you? What are you doing? What's going on? How's your faith life? I want to take a moment to sit and talk about that. Talk about where we are and what it means to our faith. Because the truth is, we are at this place where we have to make a choice. And the choice is, do we do like the first rat and just accept that this is what's happening and we sit back and just let things be? Or we take the second rat and we take the opportunity to become stronger, to look for answers, to grow, to develop, and climb our way out of this mess. Because the truth is, right now, we don't know when this is going to end. Nobody's sure of when it's going to end, but there's one thing they do know, that it's not soon. That's just the harsh reality of where we are. We've been in this for a month, a little over a month, and it doesn't look like it's ending soon. That's just where we are. That's just what's going on. So my question to you is, what are you going to do about it? Are you still in this place of just ignoring it and hoping it gets better? Are you still in this place of trying to process it? Are you in a place where you're saying, okay, this is where I am, this is what it is, so it's time to grow from it? Because that's what God's calling you to do. God hasn't stopped speaking just because we're stuck in our homes. God hasn't stopped speaking just because we can't show up to the physical building of the church. He's here and he's calling you to more, even more. Matter of fact, you look in the Bible, this is the time where the miracles happen. This is the time where big things occur. When people are in a place of struggle and God calls them to bigger places of abundance. Look at Moses. Moses was in a place where he was called to step up by a burning bush. The Lord spoke to him and asked him to save an entire people out of slavery. He had a stuttering problem. He has a speech impediment. He told God, I cannot speak. He wasn't saying that because I'm nervous to speak. He meant, no, seriously, I can't speak. I don't know how I'm going to talk to the Pharaoh because that's not a thing that I can do. But God didn't say, oh, I'm sorry, Moses, I'll heal you of your speech impediment. No, that's not what God said. God just said, go. You don't worry about that. Go. He didn't heal his limitations. He didn't make it better. He didn't pick someone else. He chose Moses. He brought his brother Aaron, and together they worked it out, and they saved the people from slavery. He comes to this place, Moses. The Red Sea is in front of him. They're trying to escape. There's people on horses and chariots chasing them down. He looks to God. God, you called me here. What's next? What does God do? We all know. He literally parts the sea so that the people can cross over. These people are saved, but they're stuck wandering in the desert. They don't have food. And then the people turn to Moses, and you read in the Bible, and they complain. They say, at least while we were in Egypt, we had onions to eat. At least while we were in Egypt, we had onions to eat. These people were slaves. They were freed from slavery, and they go to Moses to complain because they want to be back to where they were? How much is this like me? How much is this like us, that God blesses us and we just turn and we start to complain about the little things? Let's be careful about that. Moses brings it to God, and God literally brings manna, bread from heaven is what that word means, to feed them. And what do they do then? They're happy? No, they complain because they're tired of eating manna. So then God brings them quails. The Lord continues to work to the people who seek him out. Are you seeking him out? Are you looking for what there is? Continuing to ask, continuing to knock, continuing to find where he is? Keep looking. You have to continue to remember that God doesn't leave us. We look in the Bible, you look in 1 Kings 18, and you see Elijah. Elijah, to shorten the story, is coming to these people. He's a prophet, came to these people and say, turn back to God, turn away from these false gods. And, the people were gathering saying, you know what? Our God is, they came into an argument about the gods. And Elijah stood there. He wasn't like, well, everybody kind of believes what they want. No, Elijah stood there and said, listen, I came here. God called me here. And I'm telling you what you need to hear. But if you need proof, here comes the proof. And he told the people to set up, kind of like the closest thing we can describe nowadays is a campfire. Set up this pile of wood, but don't light it. And then he said, now pray to your God to ignite that. And these people prayed. They said to the point of like tearing their clothes and even hurting themselves, crying out to these gods, but the wood did not light. And so Elijah could have stopped there, but he didn't. Again, being a prophet, being called by God to do this, God spoke to him, calling him doing these things. He went even further. But he stood there with this amount of faith. He said, go get 4 huge, like modern day, let's say, barrels of water and dump it onto that wood. And then they dumped it. And he said, you know what? Do it again. And they continued to do this until there was literally puddles of water around this wood. This wood was soaking wet. Elijah said, all right, everybody sees this, right? And then he prayed to God, calling him to ignite that fire. And before this, even before this, while the others were praying, Elijah was kind of mocking them too, like, oh, your God's not showing up. He said the simple prayer loudly with faith, and that would ignite it. Now, I'm not telling you that we should go out and mock faith, anything like that. What I'm telling you is we need to have that kind of knowing in this time that God is there, that God is willing to work, and that miracles will happen, that miracles can happen, that God isn't sleeping, that God isn't isolated, God is working, and he can work anywhere, and he can do amazing things if we call out to him. See, in the 80s, this is a real common thing in the sports movies. You watch Rocky or you watch Karate Kid, you see these movies and there's what they call the training montage. But it's where this person who's kind of trying to get better, instead of making a whole movie of them training, just shows clips of them and how they slowly get better. They start off, they can barely lift a little bit of weight, and next they have all these pounds of weight on top of it and they're lifting it easily. They're growing stronger, they're running faster. But it's a short clip, but that short clip is kind of showing a huge span of time. You guys right now are in the middle of a training montage. You are in a place, it's a long span of time. Now at the end of your montage, what are you gonna look like? Are you gonna come out of this just with a little more information about the Tiger King, a little more information about what shows you can watch on Netflix? Or are you coming out of this stronger? Are you coming out of this with a deeper faith? Are you gonna come out of this looking tough and ready to take on any challenges the world comes your way? How do you wanna come out of this? Remember, you have a choice. So are you a thermometer or a thermostat? What's the difference between a thermometer and a thermostat? A thermometer, when it gets hot or colder, it changes with the world around it. A thermostat, it decides how the world around it is going to change. So what are you? As these things get harder, do you just kind of go along with it and allow things to happen? Or are you out there developing, changing things, letting the world grow with you? Now's the time. Now's your training montage. What's it gonna look like at the end? Can't wait to see it. I love all of you and hope to see you face to face soon enough.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for the first installment of our Called series, Called Out. I think that what we're really being called to in a new way today is to do more than just simply the bare minimum, right? And I think that's kind of how we've been operating, right, in this season, is that we've been trying to figure out what's the bare minimum that I can do just to get through a day. But before like quarantine or before like staying at home or any of that stuff, we were doing that anyways. We were already living like that. We were already saying, you know what, what's the bare minimum I could do to pray today? It's what we want to do differently in this series as opposed to our healing series, which you can check out somewhere. What we want to do differently now as opposed to our healing series is that rather than just simply kind of take this time at the end of the video just to call you to small groups and call you to prayer, we are going to go to small groups, but man, you know what we really need to do? We really need to start living this Jesus thing out. We really need to start looking like we've been called out, you know? We really need to start living like we've been called to follow Jesus. So there's very simple things that we can do to actually start looking like that. One of the most important things we can do to start living like we've been called to follow Jesus is to make a space in our room where we can call on him. What we're gonna do is that every week in this series, we're gonna have a challenge for you. Just something that we want you to post online, that we want you to put out there so that we can celebrate with you how God is moving and how he's calling you deeper in your life. But also as an opportunity for you to like make real in your life what you've been experiencing and what you've been receiving through youth group, right? Because our Lord doesn't want to just give you, he wants you to give as well. So our challenge for this week is we want you to create a space in your room, an area in your room where you can pray. In my house, that's right at the foot of our bed. We just at our house, we just had space on top of some of our drawers that hold our clothes. And what we did is we cleared everything off. We made that not a place for clutter, not a place to just drop our papers or just drop our phones or drop anything like that. We just made that solely a place for God. So it was just a place in our room where we would have enough place where we could kneel, where we could stand, where we could sit, where we could just come before the Lord and just pray. Maybe you got a crucifix, maybe you've got a Bible, or maybe you've got just a cross necklace or something from your retreat that you've been on. just put it in that space, and just like maybe you can like rearrange your room a little bit, like do some TLC to your room to like just try and like reorient the space which you sleep in to a place that you pray in. Because everything should be prayer. Yes, our sleep should be prayer, our work should be prayer, our homework should be prayer, our friendship should be prayer, our relationships should be prayer. Why don't we just take an opportunity to call on the Lord by going into our own hearts, by going into our own homes, by going into our own rooms, and maybe reorganizing the furniture a little bit. The reason we want you to do this is because it's more than just rearranging furniture. Like when you rearrange the furniture, the physical furniture in your room, so that the focus is on the Lord, you just watch. The spiritual furniture of your heart will be rearranged at the same time. I know when I'm at my best, when I'm not just going for the minimum, but when I'm going for like what it actually looks like to be a Christian, to try and look like Christ, I know when I'm at my best is when I'm on my knees, is when I'm praying, is when I have a daily life of prayer. So if some of the language in this video today maybe seemed a little like hard to understand or a little hard to grasp, what I would encourage you to do is start taking this Jesus thing seriously, because he's been taking you seriously from the very moment that he first thought of you. He came into this world, died for your sins, and rose from the dead. This is the time for our faith to be resurrected. This is the time for our prayer life to be resurrected. So let's resurrect it. Let's resurrect our rooms. Let's resurrect the places within which we operate, and let's make them places not just for God, but places that we spend time with God. And we give him an opportunity to spend time with us. So that's our challenge for this week. What we would love to see is our social media covered this week with pictures of altars in your rooms, with pictures of places within which you pray within your room. We would love to see the internet just covered this week with places where people are praying in this new normal, in this new season that we're in. What we'd ask is that you just post to social media, just tag your youth group, tag this video. We're going to be going to Zoom now, and we'll talk more about this challenge in our Zoom small group. But guys, don't let tonight turn into tomorrow for you to take this call out seriously. Know that the only way that someone can call you out on your faith justly is if they truly love you. And we love you guys. We love praying with you. We love being on this walk with you. But if we love you, then you deserve to know the truth. And the truth is that the bare minimum is not what we were called to. We were called to greatness. We were called to holiness. We were called to heaven. So let's be called out of our insecurities. Let's be called out of the bare minimum. And let's dive in to the love of the Lord. And let's let that call out not be something that's just solely humiliating, just something that's humbling. Let it be something that is empowering and that moves you forward and that moves you deeper into the heart of our God. He so longs to know you in this time. So call out for him. May this be an opportunity, may this be a moment to create a place in your house, in your heart, where you call out to God, where you call out for him. Because he's ready, he's listening, he's waiting to hear you call out.